Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. I'm out here late at night checking on the temperature inside the greenhouse, and it is 1 degree out here, 1 degree above freezing. So I think I better turn the heat up a bit. We're getting some really cold nights now, going down to about -11, and on Friday it's supposed to go down to -29 degrees Celsius. So that's pretty cold. I might have to leave 2 heaters running in this greenhouse. I also might have to bring the trees from the poly house and put them on the floor in this greenhouse to keep them warm on those really cold nights. Here's my greenhouse heater down here, a radiator style heater with a fan behind it to blow the air around the room. So I'll turn it from level 2 to level 3. That should keep the greenhouse above freezing for tonight. I can see the moon out tonight. Hopefully we'll get a sunny day tomorrow. Kind of exciting. I'm heading back indoors now. It's cold out, the snow's crunchy. So I leave the plant room lights on until it's time for me to go to bed. I just turn them off at night. There's the plant room in there. And down below is the basement. It is the next morning, and I was right, the moon was out last night, and today the sun is out, so that's nice to see. It is still very cold outside, so let's head out to the greenhouse. Well, there is the sunshine. Oh, it's nice to see. I checked the greenhouse earlier this morning, and it was 6 degrees in it, so I turned the heat down again. I want to keep it, between freezing and 4 degrees Celsius. You can tell it's quite cool in the greenhouse. You can see it's got all the frost patterns on the side there. Yeah, they're quite beautiful actually. Look at that. Oh, here's some fancy ones, like feathers. Each panel's different. This one has the feathers. This one has looks like moss growing out. This one has that moss pattern too, so does this one. And then the one on the end has even more delicate feathers. Isn't that something? Yeah. All right, let's head in the greenhouse now. See what temperature it is in here. Well, it's still pretty warm in here. It is, it's about 6 degrees, 6 or 7 degrees Celsius. There's some really cool frost patterns on the roof here too. Amazing. I'm going to pick out a tree to work on today. I'm going to start today's work with this Japanese maple. This is a Japanese rough bark maple or Arakawa maple. This is an air layer, so this is its first year that it's on its own root system. This was given to me by a member of the Toronto Bonsai Society, so thank you very much. Today I'm going to prune it up. You can see it's very long. Here is a close-up look at the Japanese maple. You can see it has lots of branches. It's a twin trunk. And as I said, this is the first year on its own root system from an air layer. So the objective this summer is to build up that root system, to develop that root system nice and strong. I think I should do some pruning on the tree though. It's getting very long and whippy. So I think I'll do a rough pruning, bringing back these long whips, back shorter, but I'm not going to prune it like it was a bonsai with a strong root system, not down to trunks with a few branches. I've got to kind of keep lots of foliage so it has lots of vigor to develop those roots nice and strong over the summer. I also think the pruning back will be beneficial because it won't have these long whippy branches that could blow around in the wind and disturb the root system. All right, here I go with the pruning. So I'm going to start at the top here. You can see this branch is very, very long. So I'm going to take it back either to the first set of buds or the second. I think in this case I'll go to the second set of buds, leaving the branches a little longer. It'll still keep these buds active. They'll come out. So I'll prune halfway between the two internodes, the two sections of buds. So here I go, like that. And the same here and here. So I'm basically removing all the tips off the branches. Keeping it a little more compact. Take this one back a little further. Okay. Well, that's got it pruned up. I don't think I want to go any further than that. I've got my rough bark Japanese maple pruned up now. There's lots of pruning to come in the future. As I said, I'm just trying to build up that root system this next summer. Then the next spring, I'll do some root pruning and maybe some more top pruning too. I've planted all the branches I pruned off in this cutting tray. I'm not sure if they'll root and grow, but it's worth a shot. The next tree I'll be working on today is this juniper cutting. And I'm not sure if it's a Blowy or a Shimpaku. I think it's a Shimpaku, but I could be wrong. I was given this to me at the Toronto show. It's a cutting that's rooted. There's a few branches at the bottom that are dead, but just taking out some of the dead foliage here. So I'm going to do some pruning on it today. Start its bonsai journey from a cutting to someday a tree. In this pot, there are a lot of little seedlings growing. These are birch trees. There's 2 birch, and then I think these are all either, that looks like it could be spruce, and then I have some cedar seedlings here, some thuja seedlings. I want to keep those. They can eventually be, grown a little taller and then put into some forests as smaller trees in the forest. I do, however, want to get rid of all this liverwort that's in the pot. It's kind of growing out of control. So that's my first step. I'm going to peel off all that liverwort. All right. Well, I guess I better take all these dead branches out that I peeled off. Yeah, so here's the liverwort. So I'll just pull it out with the tweezers. So this cutting looks like it's in, it looks like fine bonsai soil, like the fines that you sift out of your bonsai soil. Because it definitely has some grit in it, either perlite or pumice, something white. Could even be granite. I never had luck with junipers growing them. Until I got the greenhouse here where I could overwinter them at a decent temperature. There's a grub in the soil. See that? Nasty little thing. I can put that outside. Yeah, but so these junipers, they're pretty hardy, but they can't survive the temperatures we get in winter here. It's just too cold, it kills them. And I always killed my junipers over winter. They just never made it to spring. There's some good roots on that birch tree there. But now with the greenhouse, and I, lightly heat it, they do really well. In fact, most things do really well on this heated greenhouse. It's very rare to lose a tree in here because they're kind of kept under ideal conditions. Good light, good humidity, good temperatures. So I'm just getting all the rest of this liverwort away here. Okay, I think that's good. I think I've got all the weeds out. There's a little bit on the trunk here. So this is another one that will get repotted in spring. I'm going to be very, very busy. However, with the greenhouse here, I can spread the repotting season out. I can start kind of probably mid to late March and keep repotting right until early June. So I can really spread it out, so I should have time to get everything I want to get repotted. Okay, so that weeding is done. I've left all my little seedlings in here. All right, now it's time to begin pruning on this juniper. So I have opposite branches down here. I could definitely pick one and prune the other off. The trunk kind of slants to the right-hand side, so this branch would be in the outside of the curve. This one's kind of on the inside. They're also fairly low down. I may not want to begin my branching that low on the tree unless I'm making it a very small tree. So I guess I have to determine, well, what do I envision for this tree? It looks like it's a strong grower. I don't think they grow really, really quickly. So if I wanted to make this a large bonsai, it would take me the rest of my life. So I think keeping it a fairly small bonsai would be the thing to do. Now this branch, you can see the foliage starts here. It has a long kind of naked section, which I guess is all right. Let me prune it up. I'll prune this branch shorter to here. I'll take off this one on the inside of the curve here. Like that. There's another cutting. And then I've just got to look at my branching. So I stagger it. I've got one on the left here. I've got one on the right over here. Staggers to the left again. Now this one is too close to that one. I've got a better branch up here. So I'll take out this mid branch. Like that. Now, you don't have to have staggered branching, but it always looks good and gives the branches light. I've got some opposite branching here. You can see I've got two branches here that are opposite. I've got my lowest branch, so I don't need the one above it. I'll take that off. You notice that most of the branches are in one plane, and it's because it was a branch. You know, it probably was a flat branch or something, so they're all staggered left and right. So in this plane, it's a very one-dimensional tree or two-dimensional tree. So I'm just looking for branching here. I've got I think this branch is too close to this one. I'll take that one out. It's just, otherwise you end up with these branches that are really crowded. And I'll take this one out too. It's kind of weak. So I've got the one down here, here, and then I should go to here so this one can come out. Then, all these bugs crawling on it. That one can come out. That leaves me with one over here. Take this one out. Just kind of thinning it. Take this one out. It's looking good. And then I've just got to take some vigor out of the top. Keep these branches growing strong. Reduce the vigor on the top so the energy is kind of evenly distributed amongst the tree, all the branches. So I'm going to prune the top back. Take this one back to the first set of branch divisions. This one also. Taking the top off. This one,
I've got a good branch division here, so I can prune it back to here. This one, I'll take the tip off here. So you can see it's looking better, lighter on top. This one, I'll take the top off there. And this one, I'll take the tip off. And that kind of balances the foliage, so you can see this one doesn't look quite so weak anymore. This one's still a bit strong. I'll take this one growing up off and prune this one back. That's a little better. I'm still a little dense up top here. Take this one out. And maybe the one in here. Just give a little more light in there. That's looking good. So I think that's pruned up. It's a start of a tree. Each branch has light. I think the vigor is balanced. Now, do we want to do something with these birches? Maybe we do. This one birch here has a lot of movement near the base, and then as it gets up, it just goes vertical. So let's prune it off right back to here, and maybe I'll get some more movement coming off of it. And then the other one, well, we'll prune that one back too. Maybe to right back to here. There, little trees ready to grow. The other seedlings, they're fine. So that is it. That is it for the juniper. I think all is looking good on that. I'm wondering if I should try and root some of these cuttings. I think I will. So I'll just prune off the lower kind of branches off of it. Like that. Very small cutting, but I'll put it in the soil. Again, you never know. Maybe it'll root, and I'll end up with a little juniper forest. Here's a little bigger cutting. I'll remove the lower branches. I think that's still too much foliage on it. Try that. There's another cutting. I'll just poke a hole in the soil. Put the cutting in nice and deep. There. That's planted, and maybe one more. Here's another one. Take the lower branches off. And I'll plant that one also right here. Yeah, you never know. It could root. There we go. Now it's going back on the bench. I was just checking the outside temperature. It's -7 or, hold on, that's 52% humidity in here, or 18 degrees Fahrenheit outside. And it's up to 12 degrees inside here. And that is because, well, I don't know if the sun is fully out. It's trying to come out. It's hidden behind clouds at the moment, but it is warming up with the sun here. And that'll happen more in February. Usually we get more sunshine in February because it's usually the coldest month of winter. And when it's cold, we tend to get clear skies. When it's warmer, it's always cloudy and snowy. We've got some cold temperatures coming up later this week. I'm going to go into the poly house now and just check what trees are in there and how many. I may have to move them into the glass greenhouse here onto the floor because I think it'll be too cold to keep those trees alive. It's going down to first it said -29 degrees Celsius. Now it's saying -26, but it's still really, really cold. Too cold for a tree in a pot. So it definitely needs some kind of heat. So I'm thinking move them into the greenhouse on the floor just until it warms up again. All right, let's head to the poly house, which is unheated. I do have an extension cord coming into it, so I could heat it. That might be the solution. So in here I have my ash that I pruned up. I've got my poplars. I've got some spruce there that Bruce gave me. I've got my sugar maples. I've got my white pine. I've got the whipcord cedar or ripcord cedar. I got a few little trees in seed trays, cuttings, the willow cuttings, a few more other ones. And then I've got the big European buckthorn in here. I have no idea how well this will do this winter. If it'll just keep dying back or what'll happen. There is not too many trees in here. I could definitely move them all into the glass greenhouse for those really cold days. I think the sunshine's done for today. It's snowing again. My Pinus artificialis, that can stay out. It's very, very winter hardy.
My work today was kind of unusual. It was just light pruning and a bit of weeding. And that is all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.